Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the Super Not Funny Show reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing She-Hulk and episode 2 entitled Superhuman Law. And that's coming to you from Disney Plus. So was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Well, Ladi, we got episode 2 of She-Hulk. And at the end of the last episode, she hulked out and then was like, it's time for closing arguments. So, she's got this whole superhero and regular life thing in hand, right? Everything should be fine. She totally killed that case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except she didn't. She saved the day, but in so doing, gave her adversaries in the courtroom means to get a mistrial. So, and in the course of basically doing the right thing, she gets, you ever heard the saying, no good deed goes unpunished? Well, she loses her job because, she can't be a district attorney if people are going to be like, oh, she's a superhero. I'm sure that makes sense to somebody somewhere, but so we find Jennifer Walters unemployed, unable to find even a crappy job as a lawyer, and kind of trying to figure out what to do with her life just in time to have to go for family dinner. And we get to see her family, and we also get to we also find out at her lowest that the people that she was going to beat in that case want her to come and join their law firm to represent superheroes in their new thing, and they want her to be the face of their superhuman law division. And then she has to, as her first case, uh, she's got to go defend or not defend but represent Abomination in his parole hearing. And that's basically the gist of the episode. I mean, there's more to it than that. I don't want to just tell the whole episode, but that's pretty much it. It's kind of a shortish episode, but it feels like a sitcom episode as far as I'm concerned. But either way,
Mm-hmm.
Lottie, Superhuman Law. What did you think about
It, this was definitely, in my opinion, they should have showed the first two episodes together. I did you get that feeling too that this episode should have showed along with episode one? Because I felt like this was a more defining ending to like the beginning of the show than the first episode was. This was definitely a better episode than episode one. And I definitely I I'm still waiting. I don't know if, like I said, I don't think from what I'm seeing, I don't think it's gonna be a you know a super funny comedy in the sense of like it's still gonna be a little zany. Um, I liked her character model definitely better in this episode because I guess now she she looks, I guess she looks like in more clothing that I'm used to seeing what She Hulk is in, like in the suit. You know what I mean?
it?
And definitely, like I said, I definitely enjoyed this episode more than I did the first episode.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I love this episode. I liked the last episode, but and remember I said I had expectations that maybe were outsized, but on this one, I'd even heard some people review it before, and I went into it and it just I don't know what they were looking at because I loved the heck out of this. I didn't feel like the episode was too short. I felt like they came in and did what they meant to do. They did cliffhanger and everything, but more or less they told the story of this one was, Jennifer Walters, she pays the price for being a superhero, and then suddenly gets a new lease on life professionally, but she has to sort of do something that seems uncomfortable, which is to, defend someone who tried to kill her cousin. And it was, I think, well, the complete story, everything made sense, and then they had a cliffhanger for the next episode that basically that Blonsky is sort of making her life more difficult with a callback to Shang-Chi. That at the end of the episode that we see footage from Shang-Chi where he in fact had been broken out, and we know how he got broken out and everything, and it's going to make her attempt to make get his parole a lot harder. But before that, we got to see her family. I love seeing like the family, the cousins of Bruce Banner, and what they were up to and how they kind of gave her crap. You know what Marvel's good at? They are good at showing the family dynamics because they did that in
Yeah.
Miss Marvel. They did that again in this one, especially with her dad and her cousin. It was really nice. And you're right, we got to see more of Jennifer, in her regular context rather than trying to figure out how to be Hulk. And I just like her. I just like her. I like her paralegal. Um, I liked I liked the way she interacted with the boss. I liked when she turned to the camera and talked to us about what's going on. So we can, we sort of see what she's thinking about rather than trying to guess what she's thinking about. Which it feels like it's very comic booky, you know?
Yeah.
And there's more. I mean, for those lame, beta male dudes that have such a problem with her being such a, being who she is. There's some times then they're straight up where there's some real messaging to sort of talk to those dudes. And I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice when she walked in? She essentially is they would call her a diversity hire or whatever. If and this is speaking directly to some social issues. Like she would be called, people would call her an affirmative action hire or something like that because of what she looks like. Like literally, her whole thing is to, it. Look at it another way. Her entire point is to be black, to be
Yeah.
the black lawyer, right? Or be the Asian lawyer, or be the female lawyer at this place, and she has to kind of roll with it because she wants the job, but also she's sort of blazing a trail. But there's another thing I noticed, and that was, and this again, I'm talking about some subtlety that maybe not as many people picked up on, but I picked up on this. Is that when she walks in and she's Jennifer, and he's like, "Nope, I want She-Hulk, or you don't get the job," and she has to Hulk out right there, right? And did you notice something? When she hulked out, her clothes still fit her, right?
Yeah.
They were much tighter, but they still fit her. And I think that's a very subtle but powerful statement, which is that Jennifer Walters, in her normal professional life, wears clothes that de-accentuate her figure and her femininity. And I think in order to be taken seriously in what's a male dominated field, so she de-emphasizes her sexuality or her sexual characteristics. But when she hulks out, she still can fit that. That means she's wearing stuff that's much bigger than her. And I was like, I had to stop and think about what that really meant for her. It's I know, like, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's like, think about that. Like, Bruce Banner doesn't wear anything that he can size up into, and she does. So, but there's more to it. I really liked the bit with Blonsky. I liked, when she was talking to her boss. He seems like he's going to be a bit of a douche, but also maybe he's got her back. So I don't know that if other people aren't liking this so much, I don't know what y'all are watching. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, so Lottie, you're on board now.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I like this episode. It definitely now caught my attention. I was like, okay, now this is what I was, and this is why I said I don't. I kind of felt they should have showed the
Hmm.
second episode. I feel like a lot of shows should do that now. Like just
I
show.
still say that's weird though. Like, why can't you just use a first episode the way it's supposed to be, which is to get people interested in it with one episode? Like, I shouldn't have to watch multiple episodes to be like, I'm down.
Yeah.
And I still like the first episode enough to stick around. It's not that it wasn't. I don't think it was bad, but having to watch two episodes in order to get into something is weird to me.
They should have, if they're going to do that, they should have at least, like, because sometimes, like, this is the thing. This is not on TV. This is on a streaming network. The first episode doesn't have to be 30 minutes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? you could have made it 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that sometimes I watch some of these like streaming network things, and I'm like, they don't have to, because you'll see some you'll see some shows. The first one of the episodes is like an hour or hour and 20 minutes, and then one episode's only like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. It doesn't have. Not every episode has to be the same length because it's not on TV. You don't have a strict time slot.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, I kind of think that Marvel, what they should do now is, if you're going to make the first episode, make it like an hour. Make it like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and you can get all of pretty much a lot of the stuff that you want to tell done. Because, like I said, when you watch the first episode and this episode together, it feels like the first episode. It felt like this was the ending of the first episode of She-Hulk at the end of this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have, I think they could have melded them together into one. But I mean, that being said, like just this as a standalone episode, I think it was on point. I'd liked they had plenty of Easter eggs in there too. If you guys want to go check out the breakdowns of Easter eggs, that they talk about some things. They hint at maybe, I saw something they hinted at maybe Wolverine. They hinted at the Eternal, the big Eternal statue that's in the ocean and all that. So they're really
don't
deep
forget,
diving these.
And don't forget Planet Hulk.
Yes. Oh heck yeah! That bit with Bruce going off planet, that's awesome. And Marvel, don't play with us. I'm not. Don't play. Don't be playing. Don't be playing like you're gonna do the Hulk. I'm just like.
I just
seriously.
hope this is not a write off for a while, like they did with him the other time.
I hope that yeah. Well, I hope they're making a TV show for it.
Yeah, because there's nothing on the plans for Hulk. So I hope this isn't like a 2-year write-off like they did with Hulk after, what's it called? Like, I just hope this is not another 2-year, 3-year write-off.
Well, they're not going to make a movie because they're not going to let Universal distribute anything. So what they can still do, like they did with She-Hulk, is just make a TV show. They'll make a streaming show, and I'm down with them doing Planet Hulk as a streaming show. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I just hope it's not a. Please don't write off the Hulk for another 2 years, like, because they did that after Age of Ultron, and we didn't get him back till Ragnarok. That was 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just hope they don't do that again.
Well, we're gonna see. They certainly are teasing something. So, well, anyway, I think we both really enjoyed this one. So you guys should check this out. Definitely, the She-Hulk is looking up as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, what did you guys think about this episode, and what did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking. And of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And also, show your boys some love. Hit that subscribe button and hit a like on this video. It really helps us on the YouTube algorithm. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us on this review. Come back next week. We're going to review Episode 3 of She-Hulk. Till then, I've been Mo Coupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.